Hello, World Civilization 106 class. Welcome to week 2. And so, just know that if you're watching this video this Sunday that I'm opening it up, you may not even have week 1's paper turned in yet. I just remember that I'm not rushing you to anything. I'm actually opening up my class every Sunday, the new modules, and giving you the announcement so that you can be ready earlier for the start of next week. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. Please keep in mind with the papers, I'm getting a few in this class that are not having citations, that are not really still paying attention to the point that I was making about what the papers need to look like. I do have an example that I put in a previous announcement. One student used Chicago style, which is what history majors do, and I was okay with that. But as a general rule, the parentheses for the exact citation of the information that was only covered in the week's module is what I'm looking for. You do not need a bibliography. I repeat, you do not need a bibliography, okay? I just want to remind you that when I do papers, the first thing I do is I look to see if there's dates covering time periods. Then before I read it, I look and see if there's citations within the paper. And I look to see that those are from sources that we covered strictly in class. Then after I do that, then I read the paper and make sure that the content makes sense and that you're addressing what's there. And so I don't grade very hard, but I have a very specific set of things I'm looking for. And, I want to remind you that if I take any points away, I will always give feedback to you about that. So I want you to make sure you're seeing that. And if you don't understand the feedback, I want you to please contact me, and so that I can help you out with it. The other thing I want to mention, especially for this first week, if you get any grade that you don't like, rather it's on your discussions, your notes, if you're not getting full points, and I explain to you why, or you don't know why, then I will give you a chance to fix it. So some of you did the discussion and didn't reply to 2 other students. You get 5 points for your post, another 5 for commenting on one student, and another 5 for commenting on another student. So if you only got 10 points, it's because you only made 1 post and 1 comment, unless I missed seeing that you did reply to somebody else. That can happen. Let me know. I'll fix it. These things are very fixable. Okay. And so this week, we move away from the controversial topic of evolution and we go into ancient Mesopotamia. And the one thing that I have in my first video, I believe that's somewhat controversial, is I have a post of a video that I mentioned that you do not have to watch. It is dealing with the war in Iraq, and there is a specific reason why I posted it. I mentioned that I have refugees from war in my class and U.S. War veterans that are very sensitive to things of war, and I especially am saying you guys definitely don't need to watch this. It's mainly because it's a Chaldean, a Christian Iraqi, which are related culturally to the Assyrians and community. And he is making a rap about the U.S. war in Iraq, and he's talking about it at the end in relation to ancient Mesopotamian culture, reminding us of the origins of civilization and the condition of Iraq now and the situation with the war. So I thought it was an appropriate, thought-provoking video in context to what Americans know or don't know about the Middle East and this history. It's not meant to take lightly at all the actual situation of the war that took place and the various opinions that one can have about it. Okay, so moving on from that, I will then I do some interesting coverage of biblical stories with the ancient Mesopotamian. For those of you who did not grow up in a biblical tradition, I want to just let you know we are eventually going to cover ancient Israel, Judaism, in two separate categories, and Christianity, and the canonization of the Bible. So when I refer, though, to the Bible stories, these are the ancient Israelite texts that have similar things said that are stories in ancient Mesopotamia. So again, if you didn't grow up Christian or Jewish, just know that the Bible, which is one of the main texts for Christianity and for Judaism, there are stories that are very similar to these ancient Mesopotamian ones, and in fact, the Bible is written in the same geographic area. And so it makes sense that you're seeing that shared similarities and something you would expect to have happen. And so I just wanted to make that clear for anybody who doesn't have that background. And I think for those of you who do have the background, you'll just find this really interesting if you haven't heard these things already. That's the most I'm going to mention for now. I hope you have a safe Labor Day. It's very hot. Take care of yourself. And, the politics out there is very hot as well. So be good to yourselves and be good to each other. And I hope that a lot of things in this world can simmer down a bit. But in any case, contact me if you need anything. And you have a great week. We'll be in touch.